Riders and Pillions, welcome back to the 11th episode, a podcast where we dive deep into culture stories in the biking community. I'm your host, Kwena Wango. Today we've got Synergy Racing Academy. I'm gonna be chilling and discussing the biking side of the academy side, the safety on the road, and more of the information should be shared. Stay tuned for this awesome conversation. The Synergy Racing Academy, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Phil. This is Philippa. So we're from Synergy Racing, and we focus on rider training, not just for beginners. We take riders from beginners all the way through to track training. K53, we got specific skills designed for cornering, designed for road skills, designed for intermediate, and every course we do is focused specifically on that training module. So our focus is to make riding a safer aspect for the community, and irrespective of age or gender or whatever, we cover the training for it. So that's our focus, is to make riding better and safer for everybody out there.
Okay. So what led you to actually start Synergy Racing Academy actually?
Well, I've been riding bikes for the better half of 40 years now.
Is it?
Okay. And I was an instructor for a different academy many years ago, and then decided to do something on our own. I was not completely happy with all the courses that they did. I thought we could do something better.
Okay.
So we chopped and changed. We introduced some new courses, more focus specific on things like cornering and track, and did some development. And yes, that's where we are. We've been running under Synergy now for 10 years.
10 years?
10 years going, yeah.
So where are you guys based?
We based in Echo Park in Centurion.
Okay.
So it's basically just off John Foster, off the off-ramp. Hit to left, and then it's literally like 3-4 kilometers.
Okay.
And then
So for the past 10 years that you've been running the Synergy Racing Academy, so what can you say that you see that the Synergy Racing Academy has made an impact in the biking community?
Well, from a training perspective, we've got a whole bunch of people that have trained with us. They've become lifelong friends, basically, you can say. We've got a rider group with a lot of the guys that ride with us. And just going back on the feedback that we got from guys who attended, for example, our intermediate or our cornering course. I mean, we've had guys who came for training that have been riding for up to 15 years. Still came back afterwards on the course, and they said to us they never realized they've been doing all this wrong for all these years. So it's grown substantially, and it's basically, I think we made a big difference in the community in making things safer for people.
That's so profound. So for the past 10 years that you've been running the Racing Academy, I see the term racing. Can you please give the background behind the term racing, since you mentioned that you're more of the safety side?
Yeah, well, look, the thing is that we were focusing on is the whole idea is to take people, if they want to start off at just riding, we're more than just a normal riding academy. So if you want to start and learn how to ride, we can take you from basically beginner, not ever sat on a bike. And we can take you through all the courses. If you want to go onto the racetrack and you want to learn specific segments of racing, body position, cornering skills, head position, those things, brake markers, we can help you with that. So the whole thing is we're not just a riding school. We envelope everything. We do literally from people on cruisers right up to people with proper race bikes.
So basically offering a riding skill from road to track.
Yes.
So, which one did you start with? Did you start with the road one or the track side?
We started with road. The track's always been a little bit of a segment, but it's not a very focused side of things. To be quite honest, a lot of the track training we do are guys who want to start riding track, who've never been on a racetrack.
Okay.
And they want to start riding and they're not sure, are they good enough? Are they fast enough? Is their body position correct? What do they need to do?
Okay.
And we take them on that. So we develop them all.
Okay. So you're both instructors.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, it's the madam behind the scene, everything. Yeah.
Behind the scene and instructor, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what's the course that most people usually take within your academy? Which course?
Well, the most courses is beginners, people who's never ridden a motorcycle before. So we've got a beginners course to teach them. It's a 1-day course. Starting at 8 and by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, they can ride up and down, changing gears, swerving, braking, understand front and back brakes. The other one is preparing people to go for their license, where we take them through the whole K53 process.
Wow.
Explain to them all.
K53.
Yeah, explain to them all the exercises. We've got a K53 track. We do everything practical outside like you would do on the day of your test. So those two, and then the road skills for people who now can ride, or if you a child and you've just got a bike and you're going to commute to school and back, or you're going to commute to work and back. That one where we actually teach you how to ride on the road, not so much the changing gears, stopping, pulling away part of it, but the mental part, how to think, how to react, how to plan your escape route. If you are going to commute, you need to understand how to do lane splitting, how to filter through traffic. So that, and then the cornering course is also a big one. The guys say they learn a lot. They do. You can actually see from track to track how they improve. But it's also a lot of fun riding 4 tracks at Eurotech, which is a world-class testing venue, and ending up on the high-speed oval track. That is just the limit for them for the day. So, yeah.
Oh, that's quite interesting. So what's your price range actually?
Beginners, anything from K53 starts at about 980 Rand up to the dynamic weekend that we do in the Eastern Transvaal, which is just under 5,000 Rand for the weekend.
Okay, then what is it that under the 5,000 Transvaal? What is it?
The dynamic course we do in the Eastern Transvaal, we go ride the mountain passes where we do on the road training, and some exercises off-road as well. And we leave the Friday morning around about 11. We travel there. We've got a nice Friday evening. Saturday we do training the whole day. Sunday morning we do training, and then Sunday afternoon we travel back.
Oh, it's for the whole weekend?
For the whole weekend, yeah.
Okay, so basically as I'm a total beginner, I can come and learn the off-road with only 5,000 for over the weekend, including the ride and accommodation.
Not a beginner. You need to be able to ride properly already.
Okay, it's an advanced.
It's an advanced course, but
advanced.
yes, it does include all your accommodation, bed and breakfast, and dinners, and then you're only responsible for your fuel, your travel, and your lunch.
To come to the venue. Where do you usually host the venue, or you circulate?
We used to do it on the 22, but we're looking at Roberts Pass now. There's some dangerous speed bumps that was built into the 22, which does not make it safe.
Where is it?
Between Hazyview and Sabi.
Okay. Oh.
So we used to use that road because it's a nice stretch of road. It's, 22 states for the 22 kilometers distance, but it's more close like city. But in that piece of road, it's got 69 corners. So
69?
It's literally, it's literally
off-road?
right. No, it's road. It's road.
Okay.
But it's literally from the one to the other, and the open corners, closed corners, elevated corners going downhill. So you really get to practice your skill on that.
Okay.
So yeah, that's why we like that part.
Yeah. So on that, do I have to bring my bike, or you also use your own bike? The Synergy.
No, you bring your own bike.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but for the beginner training and the other training, you all have bikes for that?
Yeah. So beginner training, K53, we supply the bikes, we supply the rider gear, safety gear, everything. So if you want to come do a beginner's course with us, let's say you want to learn to run. All we ask of you is pitch up there the day, make your booking, obviously, let us know when you're coming. Closed shoes, proper pants. Don't come with pluckies and shorts. We don't do that. And for the rest of it, we supply everything. We've got the bikes. We've got a full set of safety gear, helmets, jackets, gloves that we provide you for the day. So we just need you.
Okay, so basically I can rock up like this and then I'm going to go back home knowing how to ride a motorbike.
100%. Yeah, the correct way.
The correct way.
The correct way.
So what's the thing that maybe you always find it common in the beginner riders? The common thing that you find when you're teaching them how to ride?
The beginner rider thing, fear, most of all, that's the biggest thing.
Okay.
Guys get onto the bike the first time and they say, like, I don't want to die. You know, because people instill the fear in people that, you know, if you look at a bike, it's, you must have heard the connection where they say a bike is death on wheels, you know. So people come with that fear that people tell me bikes are dangerous and they're deadly, and, you know, so that's the most common thing. And then attached to that is there's a whole bunch of factors involved in it, but the control aspect, where people are once again scared of the bike and they don't realize that the bike will only do what you tell it to do. You know, there's a control factor involved, and to get over that bridge where the guys are actually comfortable to take the next step, you know, and say, oh, okay, but if I pull the brake, the bike actually stops, you know. For me to control the bike, I need to do this, you know, and so that's the biggest thing.
So basically, in most cases of the new rider, you always find the issue with the psychology side of it, actually.
A lot of it. A lot of it. We do get some people who get sent there by spouses, where, let's for instance say the husband would ride, and then his wife or girlfriend would say, no, I want to learn to ride as well. And they say, okay, well, go learn to ride. But they don't really want to do it. You know, they're kind of being forced. So that's a bit of a fear that you got to work through. But we work on that, you know, and that's what makes our training so special, is that our training is broken up, even though it's a one-day course. Every training module has specific factors to it that we focus on.
Okay.
You know, so we'll expose you to one part of the training, and then once you've mastered that, we'll move on to the next segment, and then to the next segment. And at the end of the day, all the parts of the training form a unified whole.
Okay.
So we work from this. Once you're comfortable, we add that. When you're comfortable, we add another segment, and then another segment, until at the end of the day you look back and say, but I can pull off, I can change gears, I can swerve, I can brake, I can corner, I can circle, all in one day. And then, you know, you look back and you think, like, this morning I've never even sat on a motorcycle, and now I can ride. You know,
so do you have any situation whereby you find that someone never drove a car but now wants to be a rider? You never had that situation
where someone never been on a car?
No?
We get that a lot with young people that are still in school. That the parents, we get that quite a lot, where the parents want to buy the kids
motorbike,
scooter or motorbike to go to school with. Now they're too young for a driver's license. So they send them to us and we teach them to ride, and then they start commuting to school.
So how is it to actually teach someone who knows how to drive a car and versus someone who doesn't know how to drive a car totally? Since it's a motor also, so how is there any difference between the two? Between
a bike and a car?
I mean, teaching someone who knows how to drive a car and versus someone who doesn't know how to ride a car. So is there any difference between the two people?
Well, on a car, you got to understand there's not really a requirement of body position and stuff. You sit on the car, you got your focus points, yes, look left, right, and those things.
Yeah, clutch control and stuff.
Yeah, where on a bike, it's body position is a very big factor.
So true.
So especially with head movement, arms, what do you do with your fingers? I mean, a simple thing like when people ride with their fingers on the clutch, on the brake, there's specific segments to that yes, you can do it in certain instances. Certain instances, it's not advisable to do. So, to me, just personally, on teaching someone to ride a bike, there's a lot more physical involvement in it than to drive a car. I mean, car you sit in, as long as your mirrors are set and your windows are clear, you sort it.
So you never had any issues between the two type of people? The person who doesn't know how to drive a car and those who know how to drive a car, when you had to teach them how to ride a motorbike, you never had any issues between the two different type of people?
I won't say issues, no. It's just a mindset. One of the things we get, and we cover this a lot in our cornering training as well, that we find a lot with guys who transfers from car to bike. We find that they struggle with the corners. And one of the biggest factors of that is that people don't realize when you drive a car, your brain gets into the habit of using the space between the pillar left and right. So you look here. And you forget that you can actually look through it too. So it's a mindset that you need to fix. And we get that specifically, and that is part and parcel of why we designed the cornering course as well, because we found that with a lot of riders that they struggle with corners and they don't realize why. They don't understand what they're doing wrong. And then we do the analyzing of their riding style, and then we fix that. And afterwards the guys go like, I never knew the bike could do that. I said the bike could always do that. You just didn't know how to get it, but now you do. So it's small things like that people don't realize that they have to do because they don't know.
Okay. That's so profound. So you mentioned that your course is a one-day course. So you're telling me that after the end of the session, then those people that come here to go and buy the motorbike and start riding. You never had an issue where someone feels like, still need more to ride, more days to ride for it to sink in. You never had such incident?
We do offer practice sessions afterwards. I mean, obviously riding a bike is a lot of muscle memory. And it's no use doing the beginner course and then for 3 months or 6 months you don't ride because you're looking to find your bike, you're applying for finance, all of that. You're going to lose the muscle memory that we taught you. So we do offer practice sessions after the beginner course where you can come, you rent a bike with your safety gear and the track for an hour at a time, and you just keep on practicing the skills that we've taught you. And by repeating everything over and over again, you build a better muscle memory. But we had guys that went out and bought huge cruisers the day they finished training, and they did the training on a Wednesday, and the Saturday they were riding with their 1700 cruisers up and down, taking road trips. So it's very much a personal thing. Whether you as a person feel that I want more practice, I want to be more sure, versus if you've got the confidence and walk away from there and go buy your bike.
Okay. The one thing I just want to add to that, is on the beginner's course, the instructors go through certain segments of the training. And at the end of the day, if you've done the beginners, if you've completed all the segments in the training, we as Synergy give you a certificate that's signed off by the instructor saying that you have completed the course. Now, if you get, and we've had 1 or 2 instances like that where we'll have, for instance, a rider who's extremely nervous, and then even though you've gone through all the segments, there's, let's say, for instance, the cornering side of the course. They're not comfortable with that yet, and they couldn't do it the way we need them to do it. What we'll normally do with them, then we'll schedule another session with them, and we'll say, okay, we want you to come back so we can focus on that part. And only once the instructor is happy that the student understands all the segments, will he sign up on the certificate?
Okay.
So it's not just you come there, we show you some stuff, and then, okay, be on your merry way. Then the instructor actually signs off on the certificate once they are happy that you are qualified on all the exercises.
Okay. So in that case, then the student have to pay again.
No.
Or it's also it doesn't pay.
No. Oh. That's normally what we will do is let's say, okay, I'm using the cornering side now as an example. Let's say on the cornering side, the student battled with that, or they weren't confident in doing it the way we require. What we'll either ask them to come back the next day, or when there's another session scheduled, we'll tell them, look, we've got another session like this happening 2 days from now. Can you come around 12 o'clock? Because that's when we work in towards that part of the training. And then you can join that. And then we still supply the motorbike. To us, it's not the main thing of getting the money. You know, to us, it's the focus on getting the riders out there and ensuring that they're safe and they understand what they're doing. So we're in the business of making the whole rider experience nicer. And we like to look at things saying we like to make young riders, old riders, you know, to prolong their life in the biking community. So that's the main focus.
Yeah, that's profound. So you mentioned that after you rent the bikes for training. So when you rent them, they go to a designated ground and then you also supervise them, or how do you do with it?
The training takes place at our premises. We've got a dedicated training area where we do our beginner training in Echo Boulevard, and the K53 track for our license course is also in Echo Boulevard.
Okay.
So we do the training there. The other courses, the advanced courses, you use your own bike. So whether we do it in the Eastern Transvaal or whether we do it in at Gerotech or at Red Star, you then go there with your own bike.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so my question was that I was a beginner. Now I was a beginner student at the academy. But now I'm still looking for my bike. It takes me 3 months to get for a bike. But I feel like my muscle memory for riding is still too low. I'm not that confident. And then I want to come back and get more training. How do you do with that?
For that, we've got a refresher course. That's what we call it. So you've done the beginner course with us. You've completed it, but now you haven't been riding. So you can do a refresher course. What we do is we take you not through the theory of the beginner course, but we go outside and say, okay, ride to there, turn around, come back, and you tell me, I still don't feel comfortable with clutch control. Then we focus on the clutch control. Or you say, I'm not quite sure about my front and back brake. When, how should I use that? Then we focus on your brakes, front and back. When, where, how much? And that is about another 3 hours that we spend with you.
Oh, at what cost?
950 Rand.
Okay. Oh, no, that's
so it's about a third of what the normal training, well, less than a third, around about what the normal training is. Yeah. So the whole idea is we just go through we basically go through every exercise with you, unless there's one specific one that you battle with. And you say, okay, let's focus on that until we get it sorted.
Okay. Yeah. So I like the fact that you mentioned that you are in the business of making the biking experience more fruitful actually to the youth and the adults.
Yeah.
So what was the plan actually for the future in Synergy Racing Academy?
Well, for us the plan is to expand. We want to see if we can open branches in different parts of the country. We were looking at Cape Town. We actually have an instructor down there. Just the property in Cape Town to rent is a bit expensive for a startup at the moment because we need space. So yeah, that's the plan: is to grow the business and get a couple of centres up countrywide, and then just take.
So currently, only one branch in Centurion.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The issue is with a training setup like the one we have in Centurion, we've got two separate tracks. So we've got a big track where we do the beginners course, and then next to that we've got a fully set K53 track. So basically when you come for the license training, we train you on a dedicated K53 track. So when you go for your test, there's no surprises because you've been on the actual track.
Oh, okay.
So that's the focus. But space is, in general, especially these days with malls and stuff, space is very limited.
Oh.
But yeah, that's the plan, is to expand.
So usually, in Western Cape, are you targeting, you want your own land, or maybe if someone, so I'm asking this, maybe there's someone in Western Cape who do one now.
If there's a sponsor in the Western Cape, we'll take it.
We've been looking. We've got a trainer currently relocated to Cape Town.
Okay.
And he's been scouting for spots there to open the office down in Cape Town. But if there's someone there who's got space, give us a shot.
What kind of space?
We basically need big piece of tar, about, I would say 60 by 60 meters, and just a small spot where we can store the bikes.
Oh.
And like a little office space.
Okay.
Just because when we do the training, our beginners training, for instance, we go through the theory. So we go through all the aspects of safety gear as well.
Okay.
So it's not just get on the bike and teach you how to ride. We'll go through every part of a helmet. When you go and buy a helmet, what do you need to look out for? Same with gloves, same with jackets, with pants, boots. We explain to the rider what part of the safety gear you should look out for and why it is important. Because to us, it's easy to teach someone a skill. But the important part is to teach them that they understand why that is important. You understand what I'm saying? I can teach you how to set the volume on a microphone. But if you understand why it's important, when you look at your recording levels and those things, then it makes more sense. But to just tell you, no, turn the volume down or turn it up. They're like, okay, I'm doing it, but I don't understand why. And that's the critical part we try and get set with bike training. Especially when it comes to guys, open road training or road skills training. When you approach a rope, what do you need to look out for? Understand why do you need to look out for that? I'll give you a simple example. If you drive, let's say you ride your bike past the hospital. What goes through your mind? Oh, here's a hospital, right? That's what you think of.
Yeah, there might be an ambulance coming at a high speed.
Might be an ambulance. Okay, so you look out for that. One thing you also need to think of is people who go to hospitals are normally emotional because they're going to see someone who's sick, or they are sick themselves, so they're not focused. People who leave the hospitals are sometimes not feeling well, or they might have lost someone, so they're emotional. They're not going to focus on you. Okay, they might be visitors from out of town. Do you look at the number plates? Do you identify that this guy is from Northern Cape? Maybe he's not familiar, so he's going to try and find the entrance. He's not going to focus on
from the far left to the right.
100%. So those are things that we instill in the guys, to make them safer riders. We basically wake up your senses to let you understand, hey, but I never thought of this.
I also never thought of that.
Yeah.
So it's important. So basically what you're saying, it's important as a rider to be well aware of your environment wherever you are, and then get yourself in those people's mindset in that parameter where you are in that moment.
100%. To keep you focused, because, I mean, let's be honest, people in cars don't always watch out for bikes. They don't. Their focus is not always there. So as a rider, you need to know what to be aware of. You need to know what to look out for to protect yourself. And obviously the group that we ride with,
So, since riding alone and riding in a pack is a different experience. So, how do you actually teach your students to be able to adjust between the two?
Well,
we've got a social ride where we go out once a month. We've got a lead instructor who leads the pack. We've got an instructor in the middle of the pack, and then we've got somebody at the back as well as a sweep vehicle. And we all meet up at Total on John Forster. We have a chat. We explain to everybody how does group riding work, how you fit into each other, staggered formation, your time how far you should be behind the guy.
Okay.
And then we always go out for a nice breakfast somewhere to different venues, different areas. What we do is we put the newest rider right behind the lead, and the group takes on the pace of that rider. So if that rider is only comfortable at doing 100 kilometers an hour, that is the pace that the group will ride. And because we've got an instructor in the middle of the group, should we lose each other at a robot or intersection or something like that, the rest of the group knows there's still somebody watching out for them. So we do group rides once a month. We are also working on an advanced road skills course where we will be doing more training on group riding for everybody. Our group rides are perfect. The guys know how to ride. We always ride in staggered formation. But there's a lot of groups out there that doesn't ride in a safe way. So that course will be open to everybody to understand group riding and how to ride correctly and safely when you are in a group.
So, in most cases, who do you usually invite into those group riding? Is it your previous student or anyone who feels like, I want to join the ride, can come join? Is it free or is the fee?
It started off about 3 years ago. And the whole idea of it was for the new riders. I mean, if you think about everybody wants to go on a breakfast run and everybody wants to ride on a track. But if you're a new rider, do you really want to go out from Centurion to Harties all on your own? No, you want somebody with you, and you want somebody that you know and somebody that you trust to ride with you. So it originally started off to get the beginners, the guys who completed the beginners course to get a bit of a ride, get some more time in the saddle, get more confident. And some of the guys that joined us 3 years ago are still riding with us. New faces come along every now and then, and we advertise our rides on our WhatsApp status, on our Facebook groups. So if you want to join us, you'll see it coming up. It's an event created a year in advance, and you just let me know, hey, I want to join your ride, and we'll add you to the group, and we will share all the information, the route, the times, the places.
Okay.
So it's open to anyone. Free. Everyone pays their own way.
For breakfast,
we
obviously.
meet up, we ride to the place, and if you just want a cup of coffee, you're welcome to it. If you want to eat a pizza, a breakfast, whatever, you decide. But it's open to anyone and everyone who wants to go out for a ride.
Oh, nice. But you're targeting mostly the beginner riders, or you also have the advanced riders?
No, we've got advanced riders as well. People that's been riding for years, and they just feel they're happy riding with us because we ride in a safe, controlled manner. When we do pack riding, everybody stays with the pack. Everybody knows exactly what to do, so they really feel comfortable and safe riding with us.
Okay. So regardless whether they're not your previous student or not, let's say I have a bike but I don't feel that confident, I can come and join the ride.
You can come and join the ride, most definitely.
Oh, nice. When is the next one?
On the 28th, which is a Saturday.
28th of March?
28th of March, and we're heading out to Sergeant Pepper, close to Balmoral.
Sergeant Pepper?
Yeah.
Where is it?
Balmoral area, out in the N4 Witbank area.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice. Yeah, no, that's been the good of you. So you're basically offering a free group riding course.
Yeah, it's basically join us. We go through the group ride ways, how to ride, what the distance behind your rider must be, why we ride in a group, and then we all head off.
Okay, now I would like to join you sometime.
Welcome to.
Yeah,
More than welcome to.
Okay. So now let's get into the stunt side. So do you offer the stunts courses, or basically they say stunt?
Stunt courses.
Yes.
You mean like wheelies and stoppies and those things? We don't.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because we are focused on safety, keeping the guys safe, we unfortunately can't teach you how to do wheelies because, it's not linked to our profile on the safe riding thing.
Okay.
There's a lot of companies that do offer wheelie training.
Yeah.
And
Wheelie Kings.
Yeah.
Wheelie
Wheelie
Garage.
Kings.
Yeah, Wheelie Kings.
Yes.
So we leave that to them to do.
Okay.
It's just, if you focused on safety, which is what we do, prolonging the rides, we can't do the stunt side of things. It's just not.
Okay. So have you ever thought in terms of collaborating with other riding academies? Since, I can say there are few riding academies compared to driving academies. Yeah. So have you ever thought in terms of collaborating with them and sharing more knowledge?
Not really, and I'll tell you why. Our training is in-house developed. Okay. Now, if you look at some other riding schools out there, and a lot of the driving schools do that as well. You book a session, and you book for an hour session at a time. So let's say you want to go do your beginner's course, right? Through Academy X, right? They say to you, okay, come Saturday, we're starting with 1 hour of beginner training, and then you go there and you do the hour. And then normally they say, okay, come in 2 days' time or a week's time, we do the second part and the third part. So getting your whole training in place takes you about 2-3 weeks. Okay. And the issue is, to me, since it's a lot of focus on muscle memory, if I teach you something on a Saturday today, and next Saturday you come and I'm starting with the next segment, I'm not 100% sure that you remembered everything I taught you the previous Saturday, because I'm depending on you to remember it now, right? So I'm either going to carry on and not be sure, or I'm going to spend 15 minutes of your next session to go back over the previous stuff. So your hour actually becomes not a full hour of training, because we need to recap on things that you learned a week ago.
Okay.
So our courses are all, apart from our weekend away courses, is a one-day course, specifically for that segment. When we do our beginner training, we do the theory side inside the office. That takes about 40 minutes. Then we take you out to the bike. We go through all the controls and everything. And then from about an hour and a half after you started with your course, you are on the bike. So let's say your course starts at 8, from 9:30 in the morning, you are physically on the bike, practically getting muscle memory, and you are on that bike till 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. So you learn the different skills. So eventually it all flows into each other, and it becomes a big picture. And that's why our training differs from the way the other guys do it. Yeah. They normally break it up in segments. We say, nope, one session. We do it in 1 day. We know how to do it. We've been doing it for many years.
And it's working out perfectly.
We know it works.
Okay. So, as you mentioned that your next move, you want to have branches around the country. You mentioned that Western Cape is one of the provinces that you want to go to. So, what's the third one?
We were looking at Durban. We were also looking at Polokwane, because there's a lot of riders in Polokwane. And the main thing is you need to look at where you are going to get a lot of business movement. Durban has some riders, but it's not as focused as, let's say, your Nelspruit areas or your Polokwane areas. There's a lot more bike riders there because of all the twisties, all the helipods. So we'll look at the basic foundation of where it's going to be best suited. But we know there's a big market in Cape Town.
Okay, very nice. I'm wishing you all the luck. Please invite me when you guys.
Oh, we will do. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Israel really wanna love to come.
Yeah.
So, you mentioned that you've been running the business. Is it exactly 10 years or more than 10 years?
Well, it's getting on 10 years now in April.
It's approximately 10 years.
Yeah, approximately 10 years.
Okay. So how many bikes do you have for the training?
We've got about 8 bikes that we use for beginner rider training. 125s and 200s, and then we've got a dedicated 200cc bike that we use only for license training.
Okay. So the reason I'm asking that is that I'm going to, how many, is it different types of bikes? Let's say cruiser, sports and some sort, or is it one specific type of bike? Because in my knowledge, riding a super bike and a cruiser and a touring, it's a different riding experience.
Yeah, so different riding experience.
Yeah.
For the beginners training, all our bikes are retro style bikes. So
What?
it's retro style. So it's basically open, straight up seating like you would get on your normal 200s, your TWs, your Zongshens, those type of things. The other reason why we used to have a speed bike that we used, but we found for the beginner riders, if you put them on the speed bike, it actually scares them. You know, they
throttle up too much.
Yeah, they make one mistake and the bike goes poof, and they go like, whoa, I don't want to do this. You know, and then so we rather use the smaller displacement machines because they're more forgiving, they're lighter, and obviously if they do crash, you get parts for them everywhere because the guys drop the bikes. But that's part of the game, you know. It's you know, so yeah.
And then obviously your skills are transferable. Exactly the same way that you handle your clutch is going to stay your clutch, your brake is going to stay your brake. So skills are transferable. There might be a bit of a change in your body position or the amount of power you've got, but it's the same as driving a Uno and then you upgrade to a SUV. If you drive it exactly the same, it's got a lot more power. So yeah, all your skills stays the same. Whether you ride a cruiser or a speed bike or a dual purpose, everything stays the same. It's more your body position and stuff that will change, but your skill stays exactly the same.
Oh, okay. So, have you had any incident whereby the trainee fall and then decided, nope, this is no longer for me. It's fine, I paid, I'm going home.
That
situation.
We've to date had one with a lady rider, and she made a bit of a blunder on the one corner, and she got a fright, and she said, "No, I don't want to do this." And we took her aside, and we said to her, "Okay, it's fine. You know, we understand you had a fright and everything. Let's explain to you what happened." And we got her mind to understand what actually went wrong. And, she came back 2 days later and she completed the training. Yeah. The main focus is with our training, the instructors are taught to look out for specific dangerous situations. So let's say you've got a rider who's learning to ride and they're prone to have fingers on the front brake, you know, at some point in time they're going to get a fright and they're going to grab the brake and you're going to lose control. You know, so you will stop them when they start to learn. You say, "Hey, wait, stop, fingers off." You know, so you work it gradually from the start to focus on body position and controls to make sure that when the information gets shared, the student understands the whole picture. As I said earlier, not just what we do, but why we do what we do. And that's the important part.
Oh yeah, that's so profound. So now, while you're still on leaving the hand on the brake or on the clutch, so how do you advise your student actually to put how many fingers on the brake? Because they said there is different powers depending on the fingers you put. If you put 2 fingers, it's okay. So how do you in the signage, maybe take me through to your finger control on the pedal?
Okay. Finger control, and I say this very, very carefully. Okay. I'm not saying if you're doing it that way and it works for you, then you should change. But if you go and look at this normal hand, the way your hand works. So if I take my hand like this, and I've got my fingers on my hand on my throttle there, I've got movement here. You see the movement in my wrist here. I can actually do that movement there. So now, if I ride with my fingers there, I immediately lock my wrist. So the issue here comes in is if I'm starting to ride mountain passes and stuff, and I start to use my throttle as a means of slowing the bike down. So I don't have to be on the brakes the whole time. We don't really want to be there. We want to be in a position where we've got more movement. Okay, so we train the guys, and once again, I'm saying this very carefully. If you ride like that, a lot of guys have the debate where it's safer to ride with your fingers on the throttle and on the clutch, especially if you're filtering traffic. If that works for you and you're comfortable with that, by all means do it. Okay, I'm not saying it's wrong. Please don't get me wrong. A lot of guys ride like that. We teach the guys that we prefer you to ride like that because they've actually done tests to see body response time between going from there to there and then from there to there is almost the same.
Is it?
Yeah. So it's in the game where milliseconds count. But again, we'd rather have a guy with full throttle control than to have a guy there. Another thing that also happens, and you can actually, we've done the test of this. If I'm riding with my hands on my bike like this, and I pull my lever to brake, my natural movement of my hand would be to go down. And we find that a lot of times they open the throttle.
It happens. It happens in most cases. You see people going to crash. They're braking by still like, whoa,
100%.
And then they're pulling the throttle down and
now the issue
at the same time.
The issue that comes in there is you get a rider who's riding and he's getting into trouble. Now he gets a fright. Now the go-to is the front brake. So now they pull the front brake and all of a sudden now I'm scared already. Now the noise goes up. The louder the noise goes, the more scared the rider gets. The harder he pulls the brake, the more he opens the throttle. And it's a total panic situation, you know. And it's all because of fingers there. You know, if you're in the position here where you close your hand, also if I use all four fingers on my brake, I can't keep my throttle going. Because there's nothing holding it but my thumb. If I move from there to there, my throttle's open. So the chances of me doing that is a lot less.
Okay.
So just from a safety aspect. But that's the thing we focus on. Once again, I'm not saying don't ride that way.
Yeah, it's up to them. As long as they're not synergy students.
Our focus is more on the safety. And once again, as I said, we teach the guys to understand why we do it. Not just don't do it, but why we say don't do it.
Okay.
You know?
So, now since we're more of the safety side, so braking is one of the most important things. So what's the good braking strategy in terms of emergency?
Emergency braking. We teach the guys combination of back and front brake. Okay. The main thing you got to understand, and this is what a lot of guys not always think of, is the moment you apply front brakes harshly, all right, emergency brake, the dynamics of your bike changes because the front shocks collapse under pressure. But as the front shocks collapse, the back starts lifting, so you're losing traction on your back wheel. Okay. So apart from the dynamic of your body movement going to the front onto the shocks, your backside becoming lighter, you're losing more traction, so it becomes loose. Okay. Which creates a problem, especially if we're in emergency mid-corner. So the way that we suggest you counter that is if you're in an emergency situation, we'll always go for the back brake first.
Okay.
Much like if you've driven your car and you pull up the handbrake, you understand when you feel what the car does, the backside goes like that. The same applies to a bike. So the moment if I apply my back brake, I'm actually pulling the rear side, the rate to the back of the bike. So if I apply back first and then front, I've got a more stable baseline that I'm using. The pressure on the tires are equal. My body's not going to move forward so much, and I'm going to have more contact on the road. So my braking distance should come shorter under more controlled circumstances. So that's how we teach the guys, back and front brake combination.
Okay, so in a bikes whereby there is this modern bikes, they are saying, I'm not sure whether it's true or not, that when you put the front brake, it applies 70 at the back, 80% at the back.
Yeah, a lot of your modern day bikes do that.
Okay.
Okay, so in that case, if you know your bike does that, by all means, then you know it's happening already.
Oh, so you don't have to apply the rear first.
But
or you can still apply.
We suggest, we teach the guys in that sense, because let's say you used to riding your, I'm not going to use terms or names now, but your imported bike with all the gadgets, and all of a sudden you go away for a weekend and another guy gives you an old bike from the 80s that doesn't have those features. So it's good skill to know that I need to do it that way around. So if I get on a bike that doesn't have all the rider aids, I'm still going to use the skill set correctly. You know, because you never know.
Hey, it's dangerous to ride those type of bikes.
They're fun. They're fun.
Yeah. Hey, I've got myself on this other type of bike. I'm not gonna mention it by the name. This other type.
I don't want to drop rates.
Just regret my decision. What am I doing here? Because the bricks are different. So
I can tell you one thing: the modern day bikes that we have with all the rider aids and just the design of the bike itself, the shocks, the tires, everything. The bikes we used to ride years ago had none of those things. I mean, we used to have the old type of almost radial tires that had almost no grip. Your brake lever was a decoration on the bike. If you go fast and you pull it, the only thing that changes is the expression on your face. You know, the bike just, because the brakes were really bad. On the modern day bikes, the brakes are fantastic. I mean, even your smaller bikes, your 300, 300, 400 brakes, the brakes are phenomenal. So, and so is the power delivery. I mean, you look at the power delivery that a modern day bike delivers, and you compare that to power ratios from the 80s, you can't compare them. It's like chalk and cheese,
So tell me, if you're more into safety, so for someone who is riding an old bike and with less skill, or more skill, let's say someone was riding an old bike but with skills, and someone was riding a modern bike with moderate skills. So which one is more in danger between the two? In the road.
If the rider is skilled up to understand what he needs to do, then they're the same. To me,
but let's say they have a machine which doesn't respond to the level of their skill.
That is the one thing why training is important, to understand again why we're doing what we're doing. And the problem comes in specifically on the modern day machines as well. There is so much tech that's built into the machine that it does everything for you. I mean, even if you look at some of your modern day imported bikes, where if you've got an inline 4 machine and you take it around the track, it'll sense the lean angle that the machine is leaning at. And if it decides, this thing is too fast, leaning too much, it'll actually cut the injectors to some of the cylinders to slow the bike down.
To protect you.
To protect you. But now, so if I can put it this way, you take a new rider, you put him on a bike that's got wheelie control. Okay, on the modern day bikes, you can set your height of your wheels. I mean, the latest modern day bikes, you can even set the stopping height, on the latest software. So you get on a bike, modern day bike, you put your wheelie height at, let's say, 25 degrees. So at the robot, drop the clutch, open the throttle. You know the bike's going to pick up. But you know the electronics are going to keep it there.
It's not going to flip.
You understand? So you don't worry about the back brake. You don't worry about the skill. What do I need to do? I just throttle this thing, it's going to stay there. But because you don't know the skill, you get onto another bike that doesn't have all the tech, and you end up lying on your back because you never learned the skill that you're supposed to know. You're not understanding why you're doing it. And that's the important part. That's why training is so fundamental. And that's the thing we try to instill on the riders, is understand why you're doing what you do. Why is it important to know these things? I'll give you just a little example. A lot of guys do high-speed riding. They like high-speed riding, especially on areas around here, long straight pieces. And the guys go And they clock it. My question to the guys are, if you get onto your bike, your superbike, and you go do high-speed riding, okay, I'm not judging anybody. This is just the thought process that should be in your mind. Have you checked your shocks? Have you checked your tire pressures? Have you checked your chain? Do you know everything is 100% set? If you go and ride at a specific speed, and a lot of riders do it. I always ask the guys, if you sit at a very high speed, have you ever done emergency braking at that speed? And most of the guys looked at me and said, no, are you mad? I'm like, no, I'm not. Because what if something goes wrong at a very high speed? Are you going to be able to control the bike?
You don't know how to.
You understand?
And on that, sorry to disturb you, on that end, most of the accidents are caused because of people who don't know how to brake or to look for an exit point to respond in terms of emergency.
100%.
You see some of the trending videos whereby it's a crash, you'd say, but this guy could have done this to save himself out of that. Because I recently saw this other video, I think yesterday or day before yesterday, the guy fall before he can even impact the car. So you can see that the person actually just didn't know how to respond, and he could easily swivel behind the car and conclude, but he hardly slammed the brake and fall, and maybe like 100 meters before he can go and impact the car, he hit the car by himself and the bike came. So those are really important.
And that's a skill set. And if we can get the riders to understand that, it's easy to ride a bike. Let's be honest. To ride a bike fast is easy. If I can teach a 5-year-old how to change gears, and he gets an open stretch of the road, he can do 300. There's no skill. Up the gears, open the throttle, and you hold it there. The skill comes in understanding what to do when things don't work the way they're supposed to. How do you save yourself? And that's where the true skill development comes in. It's understanding. If I go into a turn, if I lean, what do I need to do to lean?
What do I need to do?
Yeah, you understand? If I start running wide in corners, why am I running wide in corners? Is it something that I'm not focusing? Is my speed too high? Is it, there's a whole bunch of things like that. And if you don't understand what you're doing wrong, you'll never fix it. And that's what we are all about, is making riding safer for people so they understand what the concepts are that they need to focus on.
Yeah, no, that's profound. So you also teach the emergency braking in the academy?
Yep.
Okay.
It's part of all our courses. I mean, we teach it in the beginner course. Obviously, it's a compulsory exercise in your K53 course. It's one of the exercises that you get tested on. And then on the cornering course as well. I mean, there's a difference to braking in a straight line versus entering a corner. You see videos where guys are doing corners at ridiculous speeds and the head is actually over the white line. You're looking to get decapitated. So you need to understand to get your braking right before you go into a corner. And there you need to understand which brake do I use when. Do I use the front brake? Do I need a back brake? If something goes wrong, how do I find my escape route? What do I do? It's not going to help if you're midway in a corner to pull your front brake. You need to do something else. So, emergency braking gets covered in every course because it's part of every section, whether you're a beginner and you need to do an emergency stop, whether you're doing your license test and you need to do the exercise, or whether you're out on the road. Everything has got a different way how you approach your emergency braking.
And sometimes the brake is not going to save you.
No.
Depending on the situation, no, not always.
Sometimes it's better not to brake and actually find an escape route or readjust your apex or something or your exit point or whatever than to just pull your brakes. You're either going to low side or high side, so just ride it out instead of pulling brakes.
Basically, riding a motorcycle, it's a mental thing, actually. It's more of the psychology thing. You need to really think out of the box. Okay. So, What's the signature course that the Synergy Racing Academy offer?
Signature course.
Or signature training?
How do you mean?
I would say maybe time that you know that this one, one of the instructors or most of the instructors, they do master it, and the student also like it.
There's 2 courses. I mean, beginner rider course is good, but you're learning to ride, so the excitement only comes in once you've completed the training. And you see the nervous face, and by the end of the day they're smiling. But the 2 courses that the people enjoyed the most or like the most or have the most fun on is definitely the road skills course. They learn so much and they understand so much better about traffic. And the cornering course. People love the cornering course because you learn, but it is such a relaxed and fun environment that everybody is just so psyched up and happy and excited to do that. So yeah, those are the 2 that I would say that people enjoy the most. K53 course is not an enjoyable course, but it is preparing you to make sure that you get your license the first time. So there's no fun in it. That's a serious course where you learn. It's like learning something for a test. But road skills and cornering is the paying courses which the people enjoy. And then something else that everybody is enjoying is our coffee and cornering chats, which we have once a month at our premises. That is
coffee and cornering chats.
Yeah. So we give you coffee, you bring your bikes, and we do some cornering work. At our premises, at a slow speed, we focus on your body position, head position, all of that in a slow speed environment. That's free of charge, and you can do it once, you can do it 100 times. It doesn't matter. If you want a coffee on a Saturday morning and it's coffee and cornering, come have your coffee with us and have some cornering chats as well. Yeah, come have a coffee with us. So yeah, that people enjoy that. That is a very informal session, and whether you're brand new to riding, you've just done your beginner course, or whether you've been riding for years and you just want to double check, you can't see yourself riding. So how do you know if your body position is right?
Yeah, that's true.
So even if you've been riding for 10, 15 years, the guy's going to say, listen, I've been riding, but I'm not so sure. Come, have a coffee and cornering chat with us. And we'll tell you, you're good, but you can turn your head still more. Look out, you're pushing you up, you're not dropping. Little things like that. And you're never going to realize that you're doing it or not doing it because you can't see yourself. You need somebody to look at you and say, okay, yes, you're doing that, you're doing that. So unless you come to somebody, you're not going to know whether you're doing it right or wrong.
It's like that old saying, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
So
and I'm definitely coming for coffee and corn.
You have
Saturday, 14 March, 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock in the morning?
In the morning.
Okay.
9 till about 12.
What's the address? Or you gonna?
It's shop number 2, Echo Boulevard, at our premises. It's on the Facebook page. And we have a WhatsApp group for everybody who's coming on that day. So I'll drop a pin location there. We meet up at 8:45, have a cup of coffee, and 9 o'clock you can ask your questions about cornering, you can give your theory about cornering, you can share an experience that you had and you say, well, I went into a corner and I did this and this, and this was the result, or what should I have done, what could I have done?
Okay, now I'm definitely coming and bringing some more guys.
Sharp.
Alright, no, thank you. We really had a very insightful conversation. I really appreciate you guys coming through and honoring the thing. It's really worth it to share the experience and the knowledge. And I like the fact that you willing to share the knowledge, and of which it might be saving someone's life out there. There might be someone who's far but really wish to come to your academy but due to distance. But I do believe even with this session will also encourage you more to come and to the academy.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Because most of the riders just go into YouTube how to ride motorbike and then go buy the bike and find that doing a lot of things, just being saved by the mercy on the road. So we really appreciate you coming through. It really matters most to me personally and also to the viewers. I hope that you're gonna come back. There is still more that we can discuss. I really appreciate it. So in our tradition, in this podcast, the Riders Pillions Podcast, the previous guest left a question for you. You have to answer the question and leave the question to the next guest. You also don't know who's the next guest, and the next guest didn't know you. So I hope it's not gonna feel any personal or don't be personal. Yeah. So the previous guest, it's Pico Santana, the president of Sapayopa. The question was, what can you do actually to bring the two councils together to host the biggest rally? But as for you, you're not in clubs. I can read that question. Maybe I can put it in a way that how can you do, or what can you do in biking community to bring all the bikers from different perspectives to host the biggest event of some sort?
No, I think we need to go back to the basics as to why is everybody riding. Because we love bikes, we love to be on two wheels. It doesn't matter what you ride, it doesn't matter who you ride for. When you started riding, you were a person. So let's get people together and not clubs. Come together as people instead of coming together as clubs. Get something where you are yourself and get all the two-wheel people together instead of all the clubs together.
Okay. No, that sounds like kind of like a West Coast Day.
Yeah.
Get a unified goal, and there's a lot of things that you can do. Say to the guys like, all right, let's look at a charity ride, make it a Guinness World Record thing, and say to the guys, we want to do a charity ride for a specific part of the community in South Africa. And say, right guys, we want to do that, we're going to make it a Guinness World Record thing. Let's all get together, we're going to meet up here, we're going to ride there, unified as one, as a brotherhood that you should.
Okay. No, that's profound. So, what question are you leaving for the next guest? It might be he or she, or an unbiker with a pillion, or a buyer rider. So, what question can you leave for the next guest?
Okay, so the question that I would leave to the next guest, if it's on the biker community side, is basically looking at your group of riders that you are. What are you doing to ensure that they are safe? What focus points have you got to ensure that your riders are safe?
That's so profound. Thank you. Thank you. Can you please do closing for us?
Can I be?
Closing remarks.
Closing remarks, I want to say to everybody out there, guys, be safe out there. From us to you, I want to say thank you so much for having us. Looking forward to future moments like this. But guys, if you are out on the road, if you do need training, we're in Echo Park, Synergy Racing Academy, we can help you with anything. If you do not want to come for training, all I ask is, guys, please be safe out there. We're all a brotherhood of bikers, and for us it's important that you guys are happy. And always remember, when you ride, there's always someone waiting at home for you. Always keep that in the back of your mind when you ride. Get home to them safe, and be safe out there.
Thank you so much.